What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt Wyatt. So I recently went out to go see this AMC fan event and a new upcoming horror sequel called Smile 2. It's the returning director by Parker Finn, and it's taking place after the events of the first movie, where now this is played by a new character who is a pop star sensation, played by Naomi Scott, who is recovering from a tragic past from a substance abuse that is publicly well known, and she's trying to rehabilitate her career until one day she comes across with the same curse, and now she's being marked as the host. Now she's gonna have to try to take control of it before it spirals out of control of her insanity. But I really enjoyed the first Smile that was directed by Parker Finn. At first, Paramount did not want to put the first Smile movie in the cinema. They wanted to put it out on streaming on Paramount Plus. But the director fought for it to make sure it goes out in theaters. They premiered it at the Fantastic Fest, and they've seen that the responses have been overwhelmingly positive. So the studio decided to make the switcheroo and decided to put this out in theaters. And they did a great job with the marketing strategy too to get more people appealed to this unique original horror film that we haven't seen before. And it made a lot of money and it was profitable. I mean, what would have happened if they decided to put this out on Paramount Plus? It would have not have made their money back, and we would not have gotten the sequel in the first place. I mean, studios always make a dumb decision to put out on streaming and on in theaters on the same day, because most people will see it on streaming first before they even get their butts out into the theater and pay $15 to see it in the cinema when they know that they can watch it for free. I mean, that was a time that we've had that strategy before with HBO Max, when HBO Max put it out on streaming and in theaters on the same day. And guess what? More people watch it at home than they did in the theaters. And it was the dumbest move on their part. Thank God that Paramount made a smart move by putting a Smile, the first film, in the cinema. I went in that film enjoying the hell out of it and had a good time, and it was really intense and something new that we haven't seen before. But my biggest negative was the end. I had mixed feelings by the end of the movie. It felt like that no matter what you try to do, you can't escape this supernatural parasite that took over you. And that's my biggest gripe with that first film when it came out. But then I rewatched it again recently before going into Smile 2. I really liked it a lot more the second time I watched it, because I haven't watched that film since it was in theaters at the time, and I was getting prepped and ready to watch the sequel. And when I was at that AMC fan event, and they were able to hand out a free poster. They showed a 4 minute, two different music videos on Naomi Scott's character before the film start, and I thought it was like we're going into an event and we're in it for the ride, and we're about to get ready to be on the edge of our seat. I will say that after coming out of Smile 2, I really had a lot of fun with Smile 2. I thought it was a really good follow up to the first movie. I'm not going to say that this is a better film than the first one. There might be many people out there that thought that the second one is better than the first. I understand that, and I understand why. But for me, I kind of thought it was kind of like a little bit more of a retrend of what we've already experienced before. They took this insanity into a whole nother level. It was a big of a mind fuck of experience when you're seeing from Naomi Scott's point of view, and you're exploring the madness that she's experiencing, and you don't know what's real and what's not to what she's seeing in her mind. And when you get into the third act by the movie, it becomes a big major plot twist, and it makes you want to go back and rewatch that film and try to piece it all together to see what she saw and what she experienced were real and what was not real. It makes you rethink the whole thing of that whole film. It was crazy as fuck, I'm not gonna lie. And Naomi Scott, most of you might not know who she is, but some of you might, because you might have seen her in the live action Aladdin as Jasmine. But I remember when I first saw her in one movie, and it was called Power Rangers, that the reboot of the cult following of the show. And she played Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, and I loved her in that movie. Even though I didn't really love the Power Rangers film from 2017, I thought she was fantastic and she had a great potential. Then she was in the remake of the live action Disney's Aladdin, and she played Jasmine, and she showed a lot of great acting chop and a lot of charisma, especially her singing ability. She's absolutely flawless. She's beautiful and well talented. And I was wondering whenever she was going to ever pop up in another movie, because I haven't seen her do a lot, even after the live action of Aladdin film, until the Smile 2 trailer came out, and I found out that Naomi Scott was going to be the lead protagonist. I was like, okay, this looks like it's going to be interesting. And after watching that film, she really delivered hard on that performance. She is amazing. She she delivered mostly, felt like more of an Oscar performance. She worked her ass off to pull off the performance as possible, and I thought that she really definitely carried it. I mean, we see the whole traumatic experience from her past because she suffered through mental health problems, especially a substance abuse, and they explored it in the flashback sequences without giving away too much. I thought it really worked. In the opening of the prologue, they did the whole single shot sequences through the prologue, and they put me on the edge of my seat. And oh my God, it was so good that the way that Parker Finn did had the cinematographer do the camera work. I don't know who the cinematographer was. It might have been the same person that worked on the last movie, but they took the camera work and took it into a whole nother level, especially when you're seeing the one flashback sequences of Naomi Scott's past. They did a POV shot, and I felt like I was just with her from the start, and it worked so well. And oh man, they really delivered the intensity of the creepiness when she's seen a bunch of a lot of people jumping out of nowhere, giving her the creepy smile, messing with her mind, mentally and emotionally, and she's going completely mad. Oh God, I mean, like you just want her to get out of it and you want her to get rid of this parasite, but no matter what, it's going to be hard to escape it because it's going to toy with your mind, making you think that you're going to win, but even though at the end of the day, you're probably going to lose. It almost reminded me of a Final Destination, when every time when the protagonist tries to outsmart death, but at the end of the day, death will always come for him and you can't escape it. That felt to me like this after coming out of Smile 2. Now, I really enjoy this film. I think this is a big win for another horror film. And we've been getting a lot of heavy hitters for a horror movie, especially it was the right time to put this out during the spooky season where audiences are in the mood to watching horror films. And it was great to watch it with an audience, and it was great to watch it in Dolby. It was a beautifully well made, well shot. The sound designs, the jump scares, the creepiness, and and even the gory. It's a lot more gorier than the first one. And I wouldn't be surprised that this movie is going to be very successful at the box office. And it wouldn't surprise me if if the studio decided we want to do another third film and probably do a whole trilogy of it. My biggest negative is that I wish they would have explored the lore of this whole parasite supernatural demon that keeps taking the victims as hosts and mess with their insanity until they break and take over their body, and watch the witnesses kill themselves until they pass it on to the next person. It's like a plague, because when you watch the last film, it explains of how you stop it and how you stop it from taking over you, that you would have to kill someone and have a witness around you witnessing the murder in order for the thing to pass on to the next. That's the only way you could beat it. And I thought that they really played it so well, and I thought it was a well-written film. And look, what I wish they would have explored more of the lore behind the whole thing. Yes, and I felt like they kind of failed to do that. And most people, and there are going to be some people out there that may say that this is pretty much of retreading the same events from the first one, except that it's just a different character arc. But it was not a make or break for me. This is definitely one of the best horror films I've seen in a while. I highly recommend rush out to see it in the cinema, watch it with an audience. You're going to get a lot of jump scares and you're going to be on the edge of your seat. So my final rating for this movie will be 8 out of 10. I really had fun. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this video, make sure you leave it a like. It helps my YouTube algorithm and it gets the word out. And make sure you share the video and subscribe to my channel for more videos to come. And make sure you hit the bell notification. And if you want to follow my social media links, the link tree will be down in the description down below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from, and stay tuned for more content.